Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be interviewing thought leader Michael Mota, who is in the world of strategic marketing, leadership, brand development and positioning, PR and communication expertise, business growth and development, and quite a few other things I'm sure we'll hear all about. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. So let's go back in time. How did you get started in the world of marketing leadership?
You know, just like in life, everything kind of comes and goes and throws you a different direction. You think you're going in one path, you go to another. So I actually started as an elementary school teacher. I taught 3rd grade and 5th grade. But at that time, while I was putting myself through college, both my parents were immigrants. So they came here legally from Portugal, actually at 13 and 14. And one thing I really gained from them was work ethic. So while I was going through college, I was actually the youngest general manager of Jiffy Lube. I started a wedding videography company, but marketing has really always been in my blood. I don't know where I got it from. My parents are very, very quiet folks. They don't really go out that much. They're old school Portuguese, great workers though. But you know, marketing just was my thing. I really enjoyed doing it. I started the first ever mobile advertising truck company. If you remember back in those days, the billboards used to spin on the sides before digital times. I brought that to Rhode Island. I was marketing my own company, Eternity Productions, which is my wedding videography company. And sometimes you're doing things that you don't even know that you're good at. So you just continue to do it. And eventually someone realizes it. So I actually, funny story, Patrick Kennedy was actually a politician, obviously most people know, and he was a congressman in Rhode Island, and he had stepped down at the time. And I had a friend who owned a plumbing company, but it was really into media and marketing. He had created a huge plumbing company in Rhode Island, and he was using the media and marketing to really promote it. He had radio station deals where he was calling all the traffic. So he figured, if I have all my plumbers on the road and I have hundreds of guys out there, let them call the traffic. They know where the problems are. It was a great, great effort. And I had contacted him and said, you know, Patrick Kennedy had stepped down. I think that you'd be a great congressman. You have a lot of power. And he told me, he said, you know, if you want me to do it, you need to jump off the cliff with me and be my chief of staff. And that's what I did. I stopped teaching. I went to school. I have a master's degree in education. And I just jumped that cliff. And, you know, as entrepreneurs realize, you know, once they get out there, I always like to say there's 2 kinds. There's an entrepreneur and a wantrepreneur, right? A wantrepreneur just wants to do it. They dabble their toe. And then there's entrepreneurs that go all in. And it's all or nothing. And that's kind of what I've been since I was younger. So I ran the campaign. Unfortunately, we didn't win. We came in second, which was unbelievable. And he owned a company called Media Appeal, which was a full service advertising agency. And he said, listen, you know, we were working for 16-hour days. Anybody that's been in politics knows. He says, why don't you come and run my media company? And that's how it all started. I was the vice president of marketing and just started obtaining clients.
Wow. Well, that is absolutely incredible. And I'm sure the longer version of that story should probably be in a book somewhere,
Definitely.
if it isn't already. So let's talk about what the world of Michael Mota looks like now.
Yeah. So my claim to fame in the marketing world from that point that I just mentioned at Media Appeal, it's funny. I actually, again, left teaching, had a salary, had future ambitions to be a principal, went to school, got my master's degree to be a principal. Then I wanted to be a superintendent, professor. And like I said, life just kind of throws curveballs at you. Now I'm at Media Appeal, no salary. I had to I eat what I bring in the boat, right? So I was casting the net and I caught a big fish. I caught a company called Alex and Ani. Alex and Ani was $1 million jewelry company. It was in the state of Rhode Island. They needed marketing help. I approached them. I said, listen, why don't you come and see us? And the rest is history. We turned that company from 1 million to 1 billion. And what we did is I was the one that set up the acquisition. So about 1 year into the relationship, we were doing a lot of things together, and I went to the CEO, who became a dear friend of mine, Giovanni Feroci, and said to him, listen, I think you should acquire Media Appeal, and I think what we do for you, Alex and Ani, we should do for all of your B2Bs, which would be like the paper store, et cetera, et cetera. He agreed. $2 million acquisition later, I'm vice president of marketing for a company called Alex and Ani, and then we just went global. It was insane. So there's when you're doing marketing, you look at it as, you have a skill set to bring people to buy a brand or a product. You could either do it for yourself or you could do it for someone else. After I left Alex and Ani, I realized my efforts are better spent marketing my own businesses. So that's what we did. I got into doing big events like SopranosCon, Mob Movie Con. These are conventions that are held all around the world. We did the biggest ever Sopranos event in history in 2019, just before the pandemic. It was going unbelievably well. We were on Jimmy Fallon, et cetera, et cetera. And I started to say, this is my future. I want to do these big events. I really enjoy them. I could bring my marketing hat. And of course, I'm leaving a lot of things out because you only have 30 minutes, not 3 days. But the rest of we all have to see in the movie. But we started doing these big events, and like anything else, you never know what's coming next. The pandemic hits, and the pandemic stops you from doing any large scale events. So I was really dead in the water, and I had all these staff, and we had to figure it out. So about 2 weeks after the pandemic, I said, you know what? We need to rebrand ourselves. We need to just think about what can we do in a world that who knows if 5 people will ever get together again. And that's when I created Virtual 365. Virtual 365 is an app that allows people all over the world that have common likes, like Soprano fans, like mob movie fans, boxing fans, etc., and bring everybody together. It's a live streaming platform. It allows people to watch events from afar because now the world has opened, fortunately. We'll be doing another mob movie event in Rhode Island this coming November. I didn't tell anybody but you. So it's a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, so now we want people to come from all over, from London, Singapore. They can stream online. They can have the community. And then we have our own virtual cryptocurrency. We formed it about 3 years ago. But now with the politics changing, life changes. Now, Donald Trump, our president, he's big into crypto. So it kind of is a perfect fit. So we have our own coin. We have our own app. We're going to be doing our events. And then I'm doing a bunch of other things with real estate, et cetera, because it's always good to diversify yourself.
That is absolutely incredible. You have your finger in so many pies. How do you juggle it all?
It's a lot of work. Like I said, there's entrepreneur, there's entrepreneur. Yeah, I sometimes talk to a lot of friends of mine. Again, you show me your friend, I'll show you who you're going to be. A lot of us are entrepreneurs, so we know what it's like. It's 24/7, 7 days a week. It's Fridays, not knowing, making sure that everybody's getting paid, et cetera, et cetera. You're the one, it gets a little lonely at times, but it's in our blood. It's one of those things. It doesn't matter how much you make. It's really the art of the deal, right? It's just exciting to be part of helping others, helping others get big as well. I've built my brands. I'm here right now in Florida, promoting another brand that I'm a partner of. It's just getting everybody together and try to go into the same direction. I always say your network is your net worth. The more you can network with people, you never know what they're going to bring to the table.
That is absolutely incredible. Of all the things you're doing right now, what has you the most excited?
That's a good question. I think, because I've spent so much time on the app. An app is something that goes 24/7. It's global. I'm very excited about that piece of it. There's so many integral parts to that. People have to go on virtual365.app to find out. But we're launching a bunch of virtual components to it. So people will be able to use their coin. And as people know with cryptocurrency, there's really two things you need to do. You have to have utility, which means it has to be usable, right? And then obviously they want to have as much of that coin acting and selling at one time, so that way the price of the coin goes up. So those are cool things. They're exciting. That it's always changing. Of course I pick a field that is always changing and evolving, digital technology. So it keeps me on my toes for sure.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit. Is Virtual 365, how does it work? Is it just for the events you're producing? Can other people host events on it? How does that work?
So it's really going to be geared towards content providers, right? So it's going to have people. I found out a long time ago, you put someone together that likes the same thing you do, you could talk for hours, right? So I had Soprano fans coming from all over the country. One young lady was standing at a table at Tony Soprano's house, by the way. We did a private event. And I said to her, I said, what's your name? She told me. I said, who are you here with? She said, I'm by myself. I said, where'd you come from? She came from way on the other side of the country. I was like, wow, you came all the way down here. And she goes, you know what? To be honest with you, I asked all my friends to come, but they really didn't get it. They didn't understand it. I'm here and now everybody gets it. So I feel so much better. That kind of stuck with me. So the app is built in a way that Soprano fans can come together, mob movie fans can come together, and then they can earn money by providing content. We live in a world that's content, content, content. I had a conversation today, and really content is a unique thing, right? So there's Disney, there's Netflix. It doesn't really matter which you're on. If you have the content, they have to come to you. So we have some movies in the making that are coming. We're going to provide it on our own streaming platform, which you'll see on the app. Just again, it's exclusive content. Content is king. I learned that a long time ago. And in a world that's evolving so much, giving the content that the people want is what I have. So you'll see movies that deal with, let's say, the mob movie genre, and then you'll have content creators talking and doing things like that. But people will be able to use their phone and their app to put their own streaming on. They'll be able to monetize themselves. They'll be using virtual coin that will exchange into cash as well. So that's what the app is. It's really, we always said that it was for the fans, by the fans. That's what this app is about.
That's awesome. So could we theoretically air all our podcasts on your platform?
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
You
We
can
will
get
follow up. We will have
monetized.
to have a
Yeah.
separate
Well,
conversation.
this conversation, yeah. I mean, people could monetize with it. They could look at business. We want it to be for everyone. We really want it to be the content comes from the world around us, and just give them a tool. It's really just a tool that we've built that allows people to make money and be excited about what they're doing.
You are at the forefront of so many different emerging trends. Where do you see the puck going? What do you think is coming next in the next couple of years?
Wayne Gretzky always said, skate where the
Yep.
puck is going to be, not where the puck is. I see AI as a huge component of this. We're already building AI into the app. That wasn't 4 years ago. AI wasn't even something we were thinking about. 4 years ago, we had to get really involved with the celebrities, because we have a component where you could get a shout out from them. You could do live one-on-ones, just like we're doing. Think about, a movie that you love and you want to, talk to that person. You can on the app. But now with AI, there's so much more you could do without the character even being there, right? If you want to put yourself into the movie or into the TV show or into the sports thing. So I would say AI is one of them. Cryptocurrency is one of those things that every day it's evolving. Like I said, now there's some validity and credibility with Trump in office. So we'll see where that goes. I think the world's really going to change. It already has changed. I think that the dollar is going to go away. I think that crypto is going to be the world. It shouldn't be where I'm selling you, Seth, a vehicle on a Sunday, but I can't get you money from the bank. I can't get the title. It should be instant, instant, instant. We're in a world that everything's instant. We were just laughing today because yesterday I bought 4 yogurts. We never left the couch. We went on DoorDash. You got the yogurts delivered to you. Everybody is realizing that time is our most precious commodity. And if we could save some time by not having to get in the car, go down the street, even if it costs you $5 or $10 more, that's what we need to create, even with this app. Some people we just know will never be able to come to Rhode Island to see The Sopranos. Doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to come. Why can't they come if they live in India? Why can't they come if they come from Ethiopia? It doesn't really matter. And it's, again, putting everybody together. So I think AI, I think cryptocurrency, is going to really change the world. And I think there's going to be a lot more robots than people expect. I have a Tesla. I should be getting paid for all these advertisements, but I have a Tesla, and I really love the feature of it driving itself. So people think I'm crazy, et cetera, et cetera. But if you really use it and you watch, at first I was scared too. Let's be honest, right? A car is driving you. It actually drives the way you're supposed to drive. Stop at stop signs. Get in the lane. It's funny to watch it because it almost helps you figure out how you're really supposed to drive. I go to the right a little more than I should. But that's going to be the world. I mean, what they're doing with cars in 2025, and they're just beginning. I just can't imagine, what it's going to be in the future. But you're right. We have to skate where the puck is going to be, or we're going to be extinct.
You are absolutely right. Absolutely incredible what you are up to. For our folks who are watching and listening and want to learn more, where are all the places for them to go to learn more about you and all the different things you're up to?
Thank you. So virtual365.app. That's where you could take a look at the app. My Facebook, my Instagram, everything's my name, which is simple. Michael Mota, M-O-T-A. And I'd love, to share any stories anybody wants to see. Come see what we're doing. We're cooking a lot, that's for sure.
Awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate you spending some time with us. We know it's incredibly valuable.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. This has been Seth Greene with Michael Mota. Thank you all for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.